Hi, everybody. I love that intro. I still get the goosebumps every time
I
I watch it.
absolutely love that so much.
I was blown away when my friend made it for me. I was like,
I love
wow, dude, I thought you were just
it.
gonna like give me some pointers on the one I was trying to make. He's like, yeah, no, that wasn't any good. He says, I just made one for you. I was like, okay, I won't argue. Hello, everybody. Thank you all
It's
for
another
coming
project
tonight
I'd love to talk about.
and joining us. And it is our night for Judy and I to just do some political readings, whatever may be going on. I mean, it's not like there's anything major happening right now, right?
There's
Um,
nothing going on ever.
nothing at all.
Eh,
Um,
eh.
so if you have a political question, please put it in the chat in all caps so I can see it. Otherwise, it may go right by me and I don't even notice. Because once I get going, I forget to look at the chat. I'm really bad about that. um, let's see. Okay, a few housekeeping stuff. For election results and analysis, there's electiontruthalliance.org. They are one of the groups that have been um, looking into all of the election fraud that went on. And they are nonprofit, so they rely on donations. You can give one chunk, you can make monthly, set you up for like a monthly, $5 a month if you got it. You can send to them. They'll take whatever you want to give because that pays for all of the extra server time and analysis time that they do. I mean, these people had to quit their jobs to do this because the people that they worked for were like, yeah, you can't do that and work here for us. So they all had to walk away from their very lucrative paying jobs to do this. So it's only right that we kind of give them a little bit of support with it. And they are finding out a lot of really scary stuff of what's going on, but hopefully we'll be able to prevent it from happening again. That's the goal, is to show people where the fraud happened, how they were able to hack in and do things, how they were able to. I mean, you still got all the other crap that they do with the gerrymandering and this and that and the other, but this is just strictly on working on the machines and the tabulators, because you may vote by mail or vote by paper ballot, but they're still going to put that through a tabulator machine. They found a lot of those that were not doing right. And so there needs to be a major overhaul in the election process altogether. The other group that does the same thing is smartelections.us. They do basically the same thing. Most of their work has been out on the West Coast, while Election Truth Alliance has been more on the East Coast. But they work together at times. They share information with each other. And so, again, and they're a nonprofit as well. So, got a few bucks you can send to their way, then do so. They are the ones that were behind the Rockland lawsuit that has gone up. That's the first lawsuit in all of this. So they're that's kind of their thing, what they're doing. And let's see here. Oh, of course, Androniki Skincare is wonderful, wonderful, fantastic, marvelous. Go to the website, check it out. They just came out with a brand new product, and I'm hoping I get to test drive one of them. And that's a red light to infrared light mask that you put on your face, and it's like you plug it in, and it's like the infrared light mask, and it helps rejuvenate the skin cells. And for everything that I'm showing y'all online here on the screen, it's all in the description box below with all of the links. So that makes it real easy for you to go and check it out on your own time. All of Judie's information is in the description box below, so you know where to find her. You can go to her channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get her some numbers going up. And Judie, what's up with you? What you got coming up? What's cooking?
I have a class that is beginning on Sunday. So it's a 5-week series class. They're going to be an hour-ish long for each class. It's just the very, very first one. I have notes, actually. It's going to be, kind of beginning with basic energy work and then kind of progressing as we go down. But the very first class this Sunday, I'll be talking about how to set intentions, how to create energy that you can feel. So you don't have to be attuned to Reiki to feel and create energy. A lot of people think you have to have that before you can do it. That opens you up to other energy, but there are things that you can do without being attuned. I'm going to show you how you can create some of your own energy and expand it and hold and set it for externally, but also create your energy internally. There we go. I think I was lagging.
Yeah, you keep freezing up on us.
That. That is something that I did that I also teach or have taught before. Really good for handling depression and anxiety and managing your emotions, and especially if you're empathic, managing that. So I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. Setting boundaries, power of words and creating your own and all of that. But all of that's just class number 1, plus more stuff. But 5 weeks of classes. It's $200 for the class. You can pay it one lump sum or per class, which is $40 a class if that's easier for you. So just email me. If you come to my channel, you can see it. But that starts. What was that?
This weekend? I said that's not a bad price.
Well,
not for five classes. That's pretty. 5 weeks. Yeah. That's pretty good. So that's definitely something for y'all to look into.
Homework,
and so do you have any collabs or anything coming up that you want to let us know about, or just kind of playing it by ear, or
just you and Marina? There's some that I reached out to or working on. The set is you and Maria. So
yeah, you're getting there. You're getting there. Don't worry. It just takes time. I was 6 months into my channel before I ever did a video on my channel. I was petrified. I was scared to death to do it. And
really?
I would go be a guest on somebody else's channel. And then it was like pulling teeth to get me to really open up and share what I was getting, because I was just so intimidated by my own self that it was like I would watch these other people who'd been doing it for years and years and years and years, and it's just rolling off their tongue and they're just clipping and going right along, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going to sound like an idiot when I open my mouth and go to talk, because I don't know what I'm doing here. And it just takes time. It just takes time, one show at a time, and the more you do, the better you get at it. And that's true for anybody and everybody. I heard about the ice things. Time Matters. That's a new name. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And we got a whole bunch of people here. I've already got like 75 people in the room. Wow. Thank you for coming.
Nice.
And if I start calling out names now, we'll be just calling out names for the rest of the night. Let's see. What have I got?
Should get on do some readings.
What am I doing? Let's see. Oh, tomorrow, I'm recording. Well, I'm not recording. It's being recorded. I'm doing another interview with Haunted Live. It's 2 people, Trevor and Yolanta. who do, they just interview people, paranormal stuff, psychic stuff, ET stuff, just whatever is your thing. I've been on with them before. I did an interview with Trevor. This time I'm coming back on and I'm interviewing with Yolanta. And then they usually drop it about a week or so after the recording, because they go in and kind of clean it up and, and trim out the dead air and whatnot. And they're both really, really nice people. And so as soon as that's ready to go out, I will let y'all know. And tomorrow night is polyterology over on the Cool
Oh, I do have
Chrome.
two other. Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have two other collabs. Wednesday the 8th, I'm collabing with Allie, 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern. I always do Pacific and Eastern because I can never remember how the other two line up.
Yeah,
and then
everything's an hour apart.
Thursday
So,
the 9th. I know, I just can never remember which is which. I don't want to screw it up. But anyway, so the 9th, which is Thursday, I am at 12 o'clock Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern doing a collab with Irish Granny Helen as well. So I do have a couple other collabs.
you'll like her. Helen is a sweetheart.
Sherry and I do our Thursday, and then on the off Thursday is Golden Girls.
Yep, and you'll enjoy Helen. She's a sweetheart. I must have watched her for a good year before I got the nerve up.
Oh, I love
to email her and ask her would she do a collab. And then when I told her it took me a year to get enough courage to email her, she's like, "Good God, why? I'm not any different than anybody else." I'm like, I don't know. I was just petrified.
I love Helen.
And so we started reading together and became good friends.
An interview on me in July.
Huh? Say again?
She did an interview on me in July for it was like an hour and a half interview. So
oh, cool. I missed really that
cool.
one.
It's on video. So
it's probably saved in my watch later.
Yeah.
And I just haven't gotten to it. Helen was a godsend for me when my son had that heart attack last year. It was at 3 a.m. She was on the phone with me talking me down. I was so freaked out about it. And she literally got on the phone and, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And she literally got on the phone and just said, "All right, let's just talk." And she just talked me down. I mean, and there's not a lot of people that do that, So that just sealed it for me that she's a sister of my heart from that point on. And
I adore her. She's great.
Yeah, she's wonderful. And of course, I've got Deborah Zackow is coming on Saturday. And then I'm doing Dr. Ann over in New Zealand. She's going to be on Saturday. Well, it'll be Sunday for her, but Saturday for us. And of course, the Slumber Party Saturday night. And I have Selena, Essence of the Moon, coming back on again. She's an absolute sweetheart. And that's it. That's my weekend is done at that point. And I'm pretty much
nice.
A couple of weekends ago, I tried to double up on some stuff, and I was like brain dead the next day. I couldn't hardly think. I was like, okay, I can't do that to myself. It just takes too much out of you. So let's see what we got question wise. I guess we could start off with the elephant in the room, so to speak, and that's the current occupant and crew shutting down the government. Yay, nobody gets paid. Now they're expecting their military people to go run around and do all this stuff. Well, guess who doesn't get paid when the government gets shut down? The military. They don't get paid. Guess who does get paid
Yep.
when they shut the government
Yep.
down? Congress still gets paid. They
Thank
don't
God.
lose their salary, but everybody else loses their salary.
Mhm.
Um, and so, uh, and of course, they're trying to make it sound like it's the Democrats' fault because the Democrats have actually finally long awaited for and put their foot down and said, we're not going to sign anything until you put health care back into the bill. You're stripping, 50 million people off of health care. Yeah, we're not signing it. Bring back health care and we can talk from there. And
Yep.
and so that's on a very basic breakdown. That's kind of where they all stand at. So here's hoping that the Democrats don't cave, which they're usually pretty good at doing. Um, they're not very good at standing their ground. They give up way too easy.
They do.
Um, um, they gotta grow a set and learn to fight dirty. I mean, this there's too much on the line right now. So
100%.
and when you explain to somebody why they refuse to sign the bill, and then you get folks going, that's all they're asking for is for the health care to be restored for everybody. And I'm like, yep, that's it. And you get these really puzzled looks on people's faces like,
Did you hear
well, why wouldn't the
F-45's response?
Republicans? Huh? Say that again?
Did you hear F-45's response to their request?
No. Well, I
Did you
probably
hear
did. I just don't
F-45's
remember.
response to their request?
I didn't hear
They
it.
requested because they want to keep the ACA intact and they want to make sure that nothing else gets cut and all that, because previously any agreements they've made with the GOP and with F-45, and I guess this time they openly said it too, was that, well, fine, if we agree to it, it's only going to be for PR purposes, so we could say it's bipartisan, but we're going to find another way to do it. And so Schumer and others wanted to make sure that verbiage was put into the agreement that they could not find another way to do it, illegally or not, because law doesn't stop him. And so F-45 goes, well, Democrats can go F themselves, is what his response was.
That sounds about right. But it's starting to come back and bite them in the butt already. So.
Well, but the thing is he wants it though, because, well, one, he makes a threat of Democrats are going to pay for this and there's going to be extreme pain. He made those comments too. And, he's commenting how he's going to fire everybody. And it's like, well, they've been doing that since Doge anyway. You didn't need us to do that. But as long as Congress isn't in session, keep this in mind, that then little Mikey can put off bringing in that new Democrat that's going to be the 218th person that can release the Epstein files, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't want them to go back in session. And as long as they're not in session, he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't need to ask their permission for anything. So he can just go willy-nilly, which is what he wants. So he wanted this to go out of session. So he's not in any hurry to make a deal.
I know when it comes to the congresswoman from Texas that just got elected, they have not sworn her in, although if it was a Republican, they're doing it like the next damn day. But they're saying that, well, they have to wait until all the paperwork and everything is finalized and cleared, and it's for sure that she actually won. But I think once that happens, I don't think they can postpone it after that. So, at least from my understanding
until they're back in session.
Right. So it just depends on.
You can postpone it until they're back in session. So,
it just depends on how long Moses Mike wants to drag it out. So, but it's
the Secretary of State has already given his blessing.
Secretary of State is what? You froze up at the
He
end.
already gave his blessing and said, "Go ahead and swear her in. She's won." Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, he already gave his blessing and said, "Swear her in. She's won." But they can keep putting it off until the official ceremony, which is in it's probably in a week now. Last week it was 2 weeks. That was the latest time. But as long as they're not in session, they don't have to swear her in. So they can put it off until they decide to come back in session.
And and this stretches out any further, and they may lose even more Republicans who's going to switch sides and vote with the Democrats on that. Mm-hmm. So they've already lost a good little number of them, like 4, 5, 6 of them that have all crossed over and voting with the Democrats on that. So, I mean, we just have to wait and see. I think as soon as they get her elected and in there, it's going to happen, and they're not going to be able to deny it anymore. And what I keep getting shown is that once they get the files out there for everyone to see, it's going to do a lot more damage to the Republican side than the Democratic side, because there are so many in Congress, in the House and the Senate, whose names are on that list. And so there's a lot of them that don't want it coming out either, because
and Supreme Court.
And the Supreme Court. There's a lot on that side, and there's some on our side that's on that list too, and their little butts are going to get, so because we don't put up with that nonsense on our side of the aisle. You get caught doing something like that, you're out the door right then. We don't make excuses for you. So Ed B says, Judy, your reading for me was 200. I don't know what that means. I guess 200% accurate. It's, yay, good.
No, it's $200. I have a reading that I do that has I do crystal grid reading and card reading and dowsing cards and some Reiki healing, and it's all 200. So I'm not sure why she's bringing that up, but yes, that's how much I charge for a full reading in Reiki. It's $200, but it's also for my class is $200, the 5-week class.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. All righty, so let's go ahead and get going. First up is Richleen is asking if the current occupant is going to give Ukraine missiles to send to Russia, and that Putin is pretty upset and might release the EPS files anyway, because he's got a copy. I mean, of course he's got a copy. I mean, why wouldn't he?
Many people have copies.
Yeah, and that the worst of the copies are the only reason why Miss Maxwell is still breathing is because she's got the copies and the videos of the worst of the worst of the worst of it, and has it already set up that if anything happens to her, like any sudden mishaps or any sudden decisions to unalive herself or anything, it's gonna, a domino effect. Stuff's gonna happen that they can't stop. So, and I think that's the only reason why she's still breathing. So let's see what we get here.
Interesting.
should have background music like the Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do. While we're shuffling and playing with the cards here. Okay. If you're ready, go.
Well, I pulled 3, but it's like there's more. It's telling me there's more. There's more to the story, so I might pull a few more. Let me just. There's something there that. So what's funny with me in cards is I'll get an overview and I kind of get the general vibe, but they don't actually talk to me until I start to talk about the cards, and then words come in, which is really weird. So,
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, if you want to pull your few more, and I'll go ahead and read what I got then.
What I get is. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm done, but go ahead. You can go first.
Okay. All right. Starting out with the 6 of Cups, and this card, and I guess because of the way it looks, the picture on it, in just about any deck that you get, you kind of get the same similar picture. But it reminds me of when Russia first started going into Ukraine, and you had the Ukrainian grandmothers that were meeting soldiers out in the streets and putting sunflowers in their guns and giving them sunflower seeds, and telling them that, here, you better take a handful of these seeds, because that way we can make sure that we can plant flowers on you when you go down to the ground. And I always thought, that takes a lot of guts for a little old grandma to say that to a soldier with a gun. And then I got the 8 of Cups, which is disillusionment, kind of disappointed, I guess would be a good way to put it. They're just not happy with what they got, so they're walking away from it all. When there could very well be some good things in those cups, but they're not even willing to look. They're just going to walk away from it. And then I got the 9 of Wands. Now, the 9 of Wands is always, to me, it's like the current battle is over. You're back either at your fort, or you're back home, or wherever, where you can kind of tend to your wounds. You've got safety put up behind you with wands behind you for protection, so that you can kind of take a break and take a breather, kind of regroup and figure out what's your next step going to be. And then I got future time, which the minute I saw this, the first thing I thought was the clock's ticking and you're almost out of time. And then I got business tycoon, and because that's what the current occupant sees himself as. He thinks he's a business tycoon, and that he's wonderful at all of this stuff, and that everybody in this country thinks that he's this wonderful businessman. But actually, he's a really crappy businessman. And if it hadn't been for the producers of Apprentice that came in and rescued his butt from completely going down all the way, and helped setting up this image of him, he sure wouldn't be considered a good businessman by any means. He was kind of thought of as a laughing stock when it came to most of the people that knew him in New York, and what his reputation was there. He was known as a liar and a cheat. Nobody liked him. Nobody trusted him. He always had a hard time getting contractors to come to work for him, because he was famous for stiffing them and not paying them after they did the work. and then dragging it out in court until they would run out of money and couldn't pursue it anymore, and then he'd give them just a fraction of what he owed them and walk away, tell them, you're lucky I give you this much. So I think that with all this put together, this is telling me that Pootie is not real happy with Dumpy right now. He's really not. And I don't think Dumpy's going to send any new missiles, but Biden made sure that a good supply of equipment went to Ukraine before he left office. So they've been sitting on a lot of that they've got there. And of course, the NATO countries over in Europe, they have all upped their game, pitching in to Ukraine to help them be able to strike back. And so I don't think there's a whole lot that either of them can do about it. I still see Ukraine just wiping them up. Like there won't be Russia anymore by the time Ukraine gets through with them. So, and I think Putin knows that. And I think he's quite nervous about that at this point. Your turn.
So yeah, everything that happens between F45 and Pootie, the dog and pony show. It's all illusion. It's all for what I call F45 reality show. Everything the two of them put out is strictly to make you believe something. It's not what's actually happening. Neither of them can tell the truth if their life depended on it. So the first card that popped out, this has been every time I end up reading on something that has to do with F45 and something he's manufacturing, the Knight of Cups, what pops up, which I think it's hilarious that it's an orange stone. And so I started just calling this the F45 reality show card, because every time he's trying to manufacture emotion, this is the card that comes up. And it's being crossed by Two of Pentacles, which is, you're trying to manage what you have amongst the chaos. So the only time Pootie speaks up when it has to do with F45 is if there's a deal that's in motion, or if the media or people are starting to talk one way and they need to kind of bring it back. They can't appear to be too much in alliance, even though they are. He's an asset for it. F45 is an asset. We know that. So there's that. But meanwhile, you've got to kind of balance the chaos as far as what the people believe or what the media puts out, the message that's put out, which is never reality. Just know that. It's completely wag the dog. They're going to tell you what they want you to believe. It's not actually what's going on. But so this is the, manage your chaos amongst the F45 reality show. So these are the first two out of the gate, right? And then I got at the foundation, I have the Four of Pentacles. So this is like they're hoarding their resources. And I kept thinking, and I was just, well, Sherry, what are you doing your part? I'm conversing with my guides going, I know there's something more, like, what is it? What am I missing? What am I missing? And it came to me, and I'll go, I'll follow up in a moment, but there is more to this story. But these cards pretty much tell the story too. So moving in the past, right? The treasure. So what is Ukraine? Why is it that Russia wants Ukraine? They want Ukraine because of the resources, because of the minerals, right? That's what they want. Yeah, they want the rights to the minerals, and they want the rights to the mining. And, so it's not just because they decided one day they want that piece of land. There's money involved, right? And F45 does nothing unless there's money involved also, ever. Anytime he does anything, there's money involved. Just, you have to look for what's the grift. So moving into the past are the resources. So if Ukraine has the resources and Putin is speaking up, it's Putin is the shiny thing to take the heat off of F-45 so he can do deals with Ukraine on resources, right? And then crowning the whole thing, which I think is interesting, is King of Cups. And I'm like, who, in this case, who is this? Like, what is this? And I feel like behind the scenes, there are a lot of people supporting Ukraine. So just like what Sherry was saying, Biden made sure that Ukraine got a whole bunch allocated to them, and they did receive shipments before F-45 came in. However, there are a ton of shipments and financial resources that were promised to them. The F-45 is never released. They're holding it. Yeah. So we still have a huge chunk that they've never released that have already been promised. These are not new deals. These are Biden deals that he put together.
And they were already approved and already appropriated.
So he could effectively, yes. So he could effectively tell Putin, I made no deal. I made no new deals. And this is a Biden thing. But he could tell the people, look, we're giving Ukraine, this. So it's that, again, it's that reality show, manager amongst the chaos thing. And then Europe is like, okay, oh yeah, now he's giving them the resources they promised. Okay, so it puts them at ease a little bit, right? Backs them off a little bit, even though they're not stupid. They know who he is. And then coming in the future, Page of Swords. So Page is your new energy or your whistleblower, right? And it's truth, but it's also intellect, but it's a new energy moving into this, but this is coming in the future. And so there's something that I feel like there's something that's not going to go the way the F-45 wants. And I don't know if it's going to be in Europe or if it's going to be here. I'm not sure. I'll keep reading and see what comes in. But there's somebody that's going to say something that's going to be, not good information for him, and is going to kind of burst off. And then, internally, I've got, Ukraine just wants their land back. They just want their family back. They're really getting to the point where they may, go ahead and give up mineral rights. I really think they're going to, just to stop it so they can rebuild their land. Because once they stop, I guarantee you all of Europe is going to flood them and help them with resources. And they're going to be this big, beautiful, shining star. Honest to God, I really believe that. So, but externally, they're trying to destroy them, right? So, and just crash them down. But I feel like it's Putin that's crashing because they don't have, they're using horses to transport equipment. They don't have the tanks. Yeah. They don't have the equipment. They don't have all these things. He's out of money, and Putin's getting ready to fall. So, he needs a win. And so, but he's going to keep fighting because war is money. You make money by having wars. And so that's why they always are at a war, because you're always making money. But the hopes and fears are like with all the chaos and everything, you're going to pick up what little you've got and carry on. But they're on the defensive. F-45 is going to end up on the defense. And I think it's because of this guy. Whoever this is, whatever information they're going to bring out, he's going to end up on, this is going to be all the information coming out on F-45. There will be a treason charge, a combination of election fraud, combination of everything he's doing with ICE, combination of the deals he's making with Saudi Arabia, Russia, taking from Ukraine. But I feel like, to answer the question, I feel like it will be manufactured assistance that was already there that he's just releasing, but then he can tell Putin it's nothing new. It's something they already had, that kind of a thing. But I also feel like it's going to be contingent upon F-45 getting mineral rights to give.
Yeah, because whatever the deal is
and then F-45
is not going to do. Yeah, whatever the end result is, Dumpy's not going to agree to anything that doesn't put money in his pocket.
That's right. 100%. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
All right. So let's go with our next question here is Terry. And she wants to know what's the outcome of Keg's breath. I like that. And IQ 45's meeting with the admirals and generals. Not very good at all. I have spent the last couple of days listening to a lot of the retired admirals and generals who are still very close to the currently serving admirals and generals. And yeah, I think push comes to shove and it comes down to it. I think the military will take him out before they do anything. They're just not gonna do it. They're just not going. Yeah, it's gonna be no, we can't do that, or it's gonna be
They are not going to fire on the American people.
no. And if anything, it might give them the excuse of actually being able to arrest the current occupant and pull off some kind of military coup by pulling all of his people out of office and then going to Congress and the Senate, to the Democrats, and saying, all right, put some people in here that can actually govern and do their job. I mean, if you just looked at the way not one of them in that room stood or applauded or anything when the current occupant walked in the room. It is standard procedure when the president of the United States enters into a room for those present, and especially the military, for them to all stand in a show of deference and respect for the office, not necessarily for the man, but for the office of president. Not one of them stood up when he entered the room. Not one. They all stayed seated. Not a smile, not a clap. They all sat with their arms kind of like halfway crossed, with these really sour looks on their faces, like, all right, what's the BS you're going to try to feed us today? And I mean, I tried to do some readings on it last night, and they are not happy at all with what's going on. I mean, and as far as Secretary Hedgehog, they look at this, they look at him like you're a drunk and an abuser and a cheat, and you think prancing around up front and giving speeches that have been more or less co-opted from World War II speeches is going to make you sound high and mighty. And what little bit of respect that some of them may have had for Hedgehog is gone now. He completely destroyed what little bit of reputation he had going for him is gone now. It's like completely gone now. So they did not do themselves any favors.
Yeah, so I did a reading on it the other day, and what I came up with, and also I've had a member in the family in every single branch of the service too, so I'm pretty familiar with many of the services, all of the services.
Yeah.
And what came out in the reading, and also what I think is going to happen, is that they may show up. If they do, it's going to be it's just a background force. They're not going to do anything. So what happened at the meeting, right, is very clearly F-45 and Keg's breath said that they were going to that the people were the enemy, and that their job was, as a Department of War, to take out the enemy and to hunt and kill, is what he wanted them to do to the enemy. And there's nothing that is going to make our military, whose job is to kill, that is their job, is to kill. There's nothing that's going to make them hunt and kill American citizens on American soil. That is not going to happen. Now, will they show up to events because they've been ordered to? Probably. Will they do anything about it? No. Will there be friendly sabotage? Most likely. I don't know why that plane wouldn't start. I don't know how we ran out of gas. I don't know, all that kind of stuff. Friendly sabotage. Is there going to be some of that? Most likely. So they might get a talking to, but they're not going to get, fired or killed or whatever as a result. So I don't think they're going to actually attack the American citizens.
The fact that Hedgehog basically told the generals, we're not following the Geneva Convention anymore, so you can do whatever you want out there in the field. That is like
he wants them to be like ice.
A major insult to them. Say that again.
They won't do it.
Mm-mm.
He wants them to be like ice and act how ice behaves, and tell them that there will be no repercussions. You can do it. So, and assuming that the only reason they don't do it because there's repercussion is what that's insinuating. It's like, no, this is conduct. And also, the very first oaths they take as soldiers or Marines is to, or seamen, is to swear an oath to the Constitution, and they make it very clear that it's to the Constitution, not to the president, and not to any person, and not even to their commanding officer. They're told that from the beginning. Now, are there a lot of megas in the military? 100%. They literally get force-fed Fox News constantly. That's the only information they get. So, are there a lot? Yes. But you can still be a GOP or whatever. Firing on American citizens on American soil is the biggest no-no there is. 100%. Yeah. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Not unless they are fired upon first. And I don't see that happening.
Well, when I threw cards on it, I started out first thing out of the box.
Oh, okay.
Was the Ace of Wands reversed. So you're looking at delays. They're going to delay things. They're going to slow things down. They're going to basically keep their forces from being, it's going to be a self-sabotage. And just for the reminder, they got a really big stick to play whack-a-mole with and knock a few heads together. That's how I always see this card, is just a really big stick looking to whack somebody. And then I got the Three of Hearts, Three of Swords. I mean, so there's going to be a lot of heartbreak for the current occupant and Hedgehog, because basically
that's also treason.
Themselves. Yeah, basically they screwed themselves with this.
That is also treason to fire upon.
Yeah. And then I got the Ten of Swords. More stab in the back, man. They have screwed themselves over big time. They have really screwed themselves over. And then I got spreading and mutating. So I think this is just the BS being spread and seeing what they can mutate out of it. And then we've got strategic planning. Again, you're dealing with men and women who have been in the military, for the majority of their lives, they have put everything they have into advancing their careers and moving up the ladder. And to have some little pundit come in and prance around on stage and talk like he's big man on the totem pole, they're like, no, dude, you're not. You're not even. And then the last two cards I got was first was a bottomless money pit. And that's exactly what this is. If they can get them to start a war of any kind, then that opens up the coffers and they can steal more money. And then I got Shadow Ruler. And I think this is Mr. Cow Chomper in the background there, according to this picture. He is working on figuring out, how do I get 45 out of the way so that I can step in and take my rightful role as leader of the free world. And that's all he's waiting on. He's just waiting for the opportune moment when he can pull the plug on 45 and say, yeah, you're done. And that's what I got.
So I just pulled 3. But on the note that you were just talking about too, I think Couch Boy wants F45 to do all these things so that the motion is in, all these things are in action when he takes a dirt nap. And then remember, they're narcissists. Narcissists have a particular behavior pattern. So this will allow Couch Boy to come in and love bomb everybody. So don't be surprised when Couch Boy comes in and he tries to play nice because he knows everybody hates him. So he's going to try to love bomb everybody, get you to forget that all these things happened and it wasn't really that bad and all of that. The oh, honey, I promise I won't hit you again thing, right? That's what he's going to do until he does again, until he does. It repeats the pattern. But the ones I got were so 5 of Swords. So again, this is a lot of chaos going on. This is kind of a dark deck, but a lot of chaos going on. You're going to pick up what you've got and keep trying to move forward, because if these the generals are they're in a pickle, right? They're in between a rock and a hard spot, because they know that if any possible message of non-compliance, then they'll be kicked out and they lose pension and everything. And a lot of, their entire lives, families, everything is, when you have a pension and your military benefits, that's why you're a lifer, right? That's one of the reasons why you're a lifer. And that was just threatened. So they don't want to put that at jeopardy, but they're not about to fire among, at the citizens. And so there's a lot of chaos that's going on, and they're trying to pick up the swords that they can and move forward with what little bit they can. And they will. They've got agreements amongst themselves of how this is going to work behind the scenes. And we'll never hear about it because it cannot get out. That endangers their lives too. So, and then I have 3 of Wands here. So the 3 of Wands, then you're kind of waiting for your ship to come in. You've laid the groundwork of things, and now, sorry, my light is on one side, not the other. You've laid the groundwork on a lot of things, but now you're waiting for the fruits of your labor to come in. I feel like what I'm hearing is they've been expecting this. This is not new. They've been expecting it. They've just been waiting for it. And so they've had time to plan and figure out how they're going to handle this. And then 5 of Wands here. So there's a lot of conflict, but it's more like sword play, if you will. It's not, they're riding the conflict. They know what they're going to do. There is a plan. We should feel assured at the plan. They are not going to attack the people. They're going to do what they can to play along, but a lot of things are going to go wrong, just like what Sherry said. A lot of things are going to go wrong or not happen, or they'll be slow, or they'll run out of gas, or the engines will fail, or whatever, right? They're not going to attack the people. And then they're all kind of, everybody, because everybody knows he's sick. So everybody's just kind of biding their time until he takes a dirt nap, and then we'll see what Couch Boy has to do about it. So, but also, this is treason. Declaring war on American citizens is treason, and they will be charged with treason. That whole lot, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Okay, let's see. Ann Bennett is next, and would like to know how likely is the party of Trump going to implode? They're already doing that. And yeah, they've all been attacked
Very
by
likely.
one another.
They're going to fracture. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the Trumpers, nothing is going to change the Trumpers' mind. I mean, you're always going to have 30% that love Kool-Aid. They're always going to drink it full sugar, just like the full sugar Coke. You know, we're not going to do any sugar free. They want the full sugar orange Kool-Aid, and they love this. They want this. They've been waiting for it. If we could eliminate Nazis, we would have by now. They would have been gone at the end of World War II. So they're always going to be here, regrettably, but. The thing is it's going to fracture because most Republicans don't want that. While they may not want to be a Democrat, they don't want that, right? And so they are gonna fracture. Once F-45 dies, and you're gonna have all the charges come out. You're gonna have the investigation, with the election, with Epstein, with the deals that he's done between Saudi Arabia and Russia, and all of that. Yeah. It's going to be literally a tower moment. It's just going to be boom, 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 and they're just going to implode. So very likely, and they're already imploding. Grab your popcorn.
Well, I drew a few cards on it. The first thing I got, Shadow Operation, came up again, or similar. I think Shadow Ruler was the last time something similar came up. So yeah, there are schemes going on behind schemes. I mean, when you have nothing but a room full of grifters and thieves, everybody's trying to figure out how to steal from the person next to them. And can I pick their pocket first? And then I got external influence, which, of course, that's Dumpy and all his people. They are answering to the money, very simply put, it's all in the money, and whoever's holding the most money is the person that they're going to follow. And then the last thing I got was beneficial impact. So I think that in the long run, this is going to be very beneficial for all of us in this country on the whole, because we're going to see where there are areas that need to be shored up in the foundation report because of all the cracks in crackpots. And and that's all I got. I just drew a couple of cards on that.
I drew 3 oracle cards. I want to backtrack too. Somebody made a mention. I think Blue Eyes. Sorry on your name. Said that F-45 already signed mineral rights deals. Yeah, he does already own mineral rights deals. I've done readings on him selling it to Pooty, in spite of Ukraine, didn't want them to, but he's using them as he's holding them hostage. The stuff that Ukraine's already owed, he keeps holding it. If I give you this, I get more. If I give you this, I get more. So he has a deal. He wants more. So throwing that out there. But I do 3 cards on this, 3 oracle cards. The first one that came up was endure. So we're going to have to endure a lot of nonsense for a little bit. So Try not to completely remove yourself. If you need to rest and for a mental health day, do it, but then come back in the fight. Don't completely remove yourself. We need everybody on deck. Just going to throw that out there. We just need to endure this for a little while. It will not be forever. We can do this. We can do anything for a short period of time, and it will be a short period of time because he's going to take a dirt nap. And once he takes a dirt nap, everything's going to start to crumble. But the justice card came up. There will be justice on this. It's going to happen. But the preparation's done. They need to finish preparing the court cases in order to bring the justice. If you're going to bring a case like this, it has to be 100%. There can be no room for error. So it has to be very, very carefully done. And the level of corruption that this is way beyond the United States. This goes globally into issues. So the level of preparation and the people that are involved to bring information forth and to testify, because we're talking international criminal court too on stuff, is massive. So there is a huge level of preparation. We need to endure it for a while, but there will be justice. So that's what I got.
Very good. Very good. All right. Let's see. Next up, we've got Jane Mackey. Have you heard Trump said there's been he's supposedly we have brought in $15 trillion worth of money from the tariffs and everything. All right, if we've brought in $15 trillion, where's the money? Why are we having to shut down? Why are we having to cut Medicare, Medicaid, and Affordable Care Act? Why are we having to cut SNAP benefits? Why are we having to cut welfare benefits? Why are we having to, it's all of these things that they say we can't afford, but yet we brought in $15 trillion worth of money, and yet we don't have money to do anything.
Well, that's his money, not our money.
Where'd the money go? That's what I would ask Donald is, well, where's the money? Of course, yeah, exactly. It went, number one, he hasn't gotten anywhere near that much money. That's not how much money has come in. It's been quite the opposite. And he continually keeps shooting himself in the foot, trying to say how wonderful and great and intelligent and smart and brave he is. And every move he makes is that of a coward. And everything I keep getting on him is he literally goes to bed every night terrified of not waking up in the morning and or not being able to sleep through the night because they're going to come and get him when he least expects it. And that's what I picked up on this. So, but yeah, it's like
he supposedly he every once in a while.
Go ahead.
Every once in a while, and just again today, he'll put out an announcement. Oh, because of all the tariffs, I'm going to issue refund checks to all the people. Believe it when you see it in your cold hands, and it.
Yeah, where's all that Doge money we were supposed to get? Everybody's supposed to get a check from Doge.
Yeah, just like how he doesn't pay his contractors. Yeah, so whatever, it goes in his pocket and the pocket of his regime. So
yeah, it's
anyway. So what do we have next?
Let's see here. Next up, we got artist Liz. Will the invasion of T's military in blue states have a major backlash on him? Yes. And will he ever be held accountable for this obvious revenge tour? Double yes.
Well,
That's
He's
just
going
what
to
I
take a
heard
dirt
right
nap
off the.
before he ever gets to court. There's that. But the rest of the regime will yeah. The rest of the regime
Yeah.
will pay for it. It's going to be a mixture of, there's going to be some that go to prison, some that get massive financial penalties, others that leave the country, others, like I think Muskrat is going to because he's so integral in the election stuff and the information, our information being sold to other countries, etc., and all of our social security numbers being leaked and everything. I think he's going to be integral in, hey, we know you have all this information and the Epstein files. We know you have all this information. If you want to keep your deals and your money and out of prison, tell us what you know and then get out and never come back. And I think he's going to take that deal. And then,
to be perfectly
all
honest,
rats leave a sinking ship. So the one that squeals first gets the best deal. So who's going to squeal first, and then they're all going to turn on each other. And we just have to sit back and grab the popcorn and let them do their bloodbath, honestly. They're going to take each other down.
to be perfectly honest, I didn't think they would last as long as they
and
have.
I am in a believer.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that I figured they would have already had done everything in by this point. So he's somehow or another he's managed to stretch it out a little bit longer. Of course, I'm in a very red state, so I'm getting to see and experience a lot of this BS up close and personal because our governor is very MAGA. And so, yeah, just deal with it. It's like, I really don't want to, but okay.
I live in a blue state. I live in a city and the state that he is particularly targeting right now. And he has a bee in his bonnet for us. He always has. He has since 2020. What's going to happen is he'll do what he did in 2020. So during the George Floyd protests, we had very peaceful protests going on. And then he sent in his goons and caused problems. They were the ones breaking business windows, breaking car windows, slashing tires, setting things on fire. They were the ones doing all that. They would roll in their black vehicles. I kid you not, they were straight up kidnapping people. There was the pre-run for ICE is what it was. They were rolling past people, they were pulling people in the vans, and they'd take off. And we didn't know where they'd go. We had food trucks coming down to try to feed the protesters. If any of that happened, they destroyed the food trucks. They would go in there, they'd set it on fire, they'd slash them, they took the owners out, they'd arrest them and remove the food truck. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they were doing, and they were blaming it on the city and the protesters, and it wasn't us. It was 100% his goons. And that's what he wants to do, and that's what he likes to do. So it feeds his story and his narrative. It feeds it too, because faux entertainment repeats it and makes everybody believe it. I work right downtown one of those cities every single day, and I can tell you it is a peaceful city, and I am fine walking to work, walking home. Doesn't matter if it's dark or not. I can tell you we do not have any of that going on. And he's out there saying, oh, it's a bloodbath and it's a war and there's things on fire everywhere. There's not. I literally work right smack in the middle of downtown. No, there's not. So
yeah,
it's what's going to happen is eventually, because the states need the blue states to function, they get money from us. We do fine economically. So what's going to happen is the blue states are going to start to create partnerships, just like they've done with the insurance. Oregon, California, Washington, Hawaii they're putting together their own insurance so that they don't have to deal with the rest of the country. Well, that's what's going to happen with trade. And what's going to happen, because we have the whole seaboard, so we're going to be able to do trade with China and with Mexico and with Canada, and we have control of the whole seaboard. Who's going to pay for it? The red states are. So that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen, and the backlash that they'll get. And then all of a sudden it's going to be, oh, well, gosh, maybe we do need you. But eventually it's going to take a year for this to all people to get mad enough for this to happen. But there are already talks on that.
Mm-hmm. I drew a few cards on it, just a couple. I was just curious to see what they said. The first thing I got was the Ace of Cups reversed. So you're talking emotional loss, blocked creativity, it says. I don't know my reversals. Emptiness, self-love, repressed emotions. Well, this is just about every single person that's on any position in any of Dumpy's cabinet members. This fits them all because they're all really screwed up. And then I got the Eight of Wands reversed, which is delays, frustration, waiting, panic situation. That's part of Dumpy's problem, is he goes into these manic, panic, emotional modes where he then just like circles around the room and he does all this crazy ass stuff because he's in this panic, and he thinks the only way he can get out of this stuff is for him to stir up and make up more chaos and make everybody else more crazy. And all he's doing at this point is shooting himself in the foot. He's literally doing himself in. He'd have been better off if when he had come into office, just let Biden's stuff roll and just kicked back and played golf all day, every day, and not done a damn thing. And we would have trucked right along underneath all of Biden's plans, which after a year or so, he could have taken credit for those plans. And we would all be the happier for it. And we'd certainly be a hell of a lot richer for it. That's not what he did because he's stupid. And then the last card I drew was the Page of Pentacles reversed. And that's lack of commitment, greediness, laziness, well, no, he doesn't learn, but procrastination. That's him. I mean, that's everything right there. He's a freaking idiot, and he doesn't seem to know and understand which way is up. And therefore, what does he do? He continues to shoot himself in the foot. So,
so keep in mind, again, when you think from the mindset of where's the grift and where's the money, he is the people who run the prisons are the billionaires. And when he runs people through them, they make money. So even for a short bit, they make money on everybody that passes through there. So there's that. I drew 3 cards on it also. And what I got initially was 8 swords. So the people right now are feeling very frustrated and feeling like our hands are tied and we can't do anything. And we're waiting for Democrats to stand up and do something and all that. That's kind of how we're feeling right now. But then the star showed up, which I'm going to cover up the naked bits, but the star showed up. And the star is about, I always think, wish upon the star, your hopes and your dreams, right? So our wishes and our hopes are going to start to come out. And I think we're right in the thick of it right now. I think things after this month are going to start to get better. It's going to be slow because we will go through the wheels of justice, but it will gradually start to get better. As soon as he takes a dirt nap, which is going to be very, 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 very soon, things will start to gradually improve because also the courts and the justice system are going to keep doing their thing. So our wishes and our hopes and our dreams will come true, though it will not be immediate gratification. But eventually, Four of Wands. Eventually, we're going to get our happy family back together again. And I think that US 2.0, which is how I phrase it, is going to be even better. And regrettably, this is what we needed to do to kind of flush out all of the cracks and all of the holes. And now we know what holes to plug. The kicker is whoever comes in on, midterms, and because we probably have, blue wave, assuming that everything's not all rigged and all that, they need to be willing to act. That once we get control back, it's going to be all right. Let's go. We need to do this fast. None of this, the Democrats love to do. So, but once we do that, we're going to come back better, faster, stronger. Our little man country. Bionic man. I guess that's what that was.
Yep.
So,
I remember,
and eventually it'll be okay. We will survive.
We were all in love with Steve Majors.
Right.
I like what Dina, thank you for your donation. That's very generous. I like what you put on here. I have to go on the Hub website for my job.
Nice.
There was an actual banner blaming the radical left for shutting down the government. See, it's little things like this that they're doing that they think makes them look special. And all it does is it makes people look at them and go, how immature do you have to be that that's what you're putting on your official government website? You're running a banner that says that. I mean, could you imagine if the Democrats had control and they were posting on all of their government websites banners that said, we can't do this or we can't have that because of the radical right-wing communists that run the Republican Party? Oh my God, you would not hear the end of it.
Well, maybe you should.
So,
which is why I love Newsom, what he's doing right now. He's getting it right back.
Newsom's got it right, and that is hit back and hit back hard in exactly the same way that he has just taken what the current occupant has said or done, and he's just completely reversed it and done it right back at him. And then, of course, you get 45 getting all blown up in arms and everybody getting all crazy. Oh, he did this and he said that. It's like, yeah, but you said it and did it first. He's just repeating what you said. That's the only difference, is he's just repeating it. And so that tends to shut some people up. Not enough, but a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I live in I'm a very small blue dot in a very large red sea. So I wish I was in a blue state.
You can come visit anytime, Sherry.
I just might have to move to California. I just don't know if I can deal with earthquakes. Hurricanes, I know they're coming. I can prepare. That's cool. Tornadoes, it's kind of iffy because sometimes they do just pop out of the blue. But earthquakes, that and sinkholes freak me out. It's just something about the ground opening up and swallowing you that freaks me out to no end. Just
so if you come where I am, then you're an hour from the ocean, you're an hour from the mountains, you're 2 hours from the desert. You have every geological, type of joy, and we don't really get earthquakes, we don't get tornadoes, we don't really get hurricanes, we don't just come where I am.
You're a little inland to get hurricanes. I mean, you're not exactly on the coast. Are you? I mean,
they get storms, but very rarely is it like, I mean, every once in a while we'll get a bad storm, but nothing like actual hurricanes.
Yeah.
No.
And it really surprised me that we have not been hit by one yet this year, because I definitely saw a really bad one in the Gulf. Now, granted,
I did too.
2 months.
So it's coming. I think
Yeah, and
I know.
I still feel the energy for it. Like it's just not quite ready yet. But hold on to your britches, because when it starts coming, it's gonna
Yeah.
really come. Um,
Yeah.
because we still got 2 full months. I
Yeah.
mean,
I did a
hurricane
reading on that
season
too,
doesn't
that there's
end
something
until the end of November.
coming. Mhm.
So, all right. Well, we've been on here an
Yeah.
hour and 20 minutes. I'm fading fast on y'all. Let's do one more question. Can you see the starred list? The ones that are starred? Let's see. I did that one.
No.
Did that one. Okay. I didn't know. All right. Well, let's go with Jane Maxie. I'm sorry, Jane, however it is you pronounce it. Um, welcome. I think I said that earlier. You're a new name. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's see here. All right. How long do you see the shutdown to last?
I think it'll be about a month.
I was going to say I was picking up, and I'm not real good on time. It doesn't seem to be one of my strong points.
Yeah, it's rough.
But I was feeling like about 3 weeks. So,
Yeah. It depends, because it's up to, we have free will for people to make their own decisions. But,
yeah, I mean, it could
I've
be
been
that
getting
today,
like
and
3 to 4 weeks, but depends on how
yeah, it could be a month
much people are
today,
willing
and then
to
tomorrow it's
negotiate.
yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Timing is always quirky. But I keep feeling like it's 3 to 4 weeks. I keep hearing about a month. I don't know. That's just current energy. That could change.
yeah. Well, it looks like our high count for the day was 177 in the chat. Wow, that's a lot, y'all.
Oh, nice. Dude,
And
I
then
just
I
pulled
pop in on
3 cards on this.
And then I go pop into a live with Linda
They're
G.
all.
Oh, look, there's 7,000 in the chat. I'm like,
oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah, I know. she's
go ahead and go.
she's doing an intro for me at the end of October.
Cool.
The 3 cards I pulled, get this, they're all major arcana. The Emperor, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Has everything to do with F-45, whatever plan they're cooking up, and whatever truth bombs that can be, brought out, and information that's coming out. Whenever he needs a sparkly thing to take your eyes off of Epstein, that's when it'll happen.
Yeah.
Or fraudulent elections. So he needs a sparkly thing. This is his sparkly thing he's holding in his pocket, and it'll be up to him. That's the plan.
Cool. All right. Well, the first thing I got was cyber attack. So there are going to be some people that are going to be playing around with websites that's going to really freak them out, because maybe they're the ones that release the files because they get in there and hack it, right? And then I got changes coming. Yes,
well,
it
the
is.
victims do. Yeah.
Hold on to your britches, because when the change hits, it's going to be jaw dropping. That's just what I keep getting as I pull cards on it. And then the last thing I got was good outcome. And so I think that, yeah, it's not going to be very long before he's gone. And so if I keep feeling
sometimes the
like
best
at the end of the
thing that
day,
somebody can do for the is exit.
yeah, I keep feeling like at the end of the day, people are going to walk in and say, y'all are still doing this nonsense, really? It's costing us 3 times as much money to do this than it is to just kick the can down the road, if nothing else, and get a budget up there. Yeah, I'm still getting 2 to 3 weeks. That's what I'm hearing. 2 to 3, 2 to 3. So did you have any cards? Did you read on it? Or did you have any cards on it?
Oh, I already read.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if you read them or not.
I could do my dowsing rods real quick.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do my dowsing rods real quick. Just ask. So,
Okay.
Hey guys. I always greet them. Okay, what are we looking at for shutdown? And understand, everybody, this is current energy. Energy around timing can always change because of free will. So, okay, are we looking at? So when we go this way, it's yes, and then it's no. For government shutdown, how long it will last? Will it be 1 week? No. Will it be 2 weeks? No. 3 weeks? Could be 3 weeks. What about 4 weeks? Could be 4 weeks. Will it be longer than a month? No. So about 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah. So about 3 to 4 weeks. But according to current energy, keep that in mind. So
you're getting 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm getting 2 to 3 weeks. So you're getting 3 to 4 weeks. I'm getting 2 to 3 weeks. So I'd say 3 weeks is probably a good guess at this point. Because we're both getting 3 weeks. So yeah. So
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And again, so it's current energy because anybody can make whatever side deal and all of that, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you everybody for coming. I do appreciate it. I've been up since 5 a.m. and it's starting to catch up with me. And so I'm like starting to get wall-eyed. And I feel like I need toothpicks to hold them open now at this point. Thank you, Judie, for coming on. We'll be back together next Thursday on Golden Girls, and then the following Thursday doing another just live political readings. And so we're just kind of doing the opposite week from Golden Girls. We're doing live readings. And so thank y'all for coming. Sorry we couldn't get to all of you. We tried, but we just couldn't do it. So we'll both be back on in the next, from tomorrow on and over the weekend. So, you know, I'm sure you can catch us and ask us a question then, or re-ask your question. You never know.
Like, share, subscribe.
That's it. Make sure, that's the last thing I was going to say. Make sure you go to, make sure you leave a thumbs up on my channel. I know you've subscribed because you can't go in the chat unless you subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you're just hanging out and watching, hit that little subscribe bell and then click the notification bell, and you'll be notified whenever I drop something, whether if it's a reading, my britches, my teeth, whatever falls out. And so you never know what you're going to get. I have been known before to be saying something or to sneeze, and my upper dentures go whoop and go right out of my mouth. It's embarrassing as hell, but you learn to deal with it. I need new uppers. That's just, I can't afford them right now, but I need a new upper plate. So thank y'all for coming very much. We certainly do appreciate it. And we will see you soon. So make sure Judie's info is in the description box below. Make sure you go and click on her channel and like, subscribe, and share. And after the show is over, if you come back and leave a comment, at least 7 characters. I don't know what it is about the number 7, but if it's at least 7 characters, it clicks something in the algorithm and it pushes it out more. So any help I can get, I appreciate it. I'm still shooting to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. So everybody keeps saying, yes, you're going to make it. But there are some days when I get really I'm never going to get there. So y'all have a great Thursday night. I don't even know what night it is anymore. Thursday night. Have a wonderful Thursday night. Have a great weekend. Weekend's almost here. And we will see you in the next day or two.
Thank you, everybody.